Hey guys, I know it's been a long time. I've been really slacking, but I had a moment today to record and I finally got that birth vlog you guys wanted like 2 months ago recorded. So I am going to go ahead and post that for you now, and I hope you guys enjoy. Please ignore my washer and dryer going off. My child is pressing all the buttons, but please enjoy and let's go. Hey guys, so I know this isn't my typical vlogging area. I am in my youngest room folding laundry, but I thought, you know, if I'm gonna sit here and fold laundry, I might as well finally give you guys the birth video that you had asked for. So here is the story of my children's births, and we will start with my oldest. So my oldest, I was pregnant with her when I was 18. I gave birth to her right after my 19th birthday. She was due 2 days after my birthday, and she decided to come on her dad's birthday instead. We did almost have her on my birthday. We actually got hit. We were involved in a hit and run from a drunk driver on my birthday 2 days before her due date. We are very lucky that neighbors were outside and managed to record the person fleeing, and they were screaming license plate numbers, which is how we ended up finding the person, finding out they had a suspended license for drinking and driving, and it's just a little ordeal, and it was really scary. I ended up not going to the hospital that day because I had initially felt fine. That evening, I ended up having some bleeding and went straight to the ER. I was monitored for a few hours, but bleeding had stopped. My contractions had stopped. I was 4 centimeters dilated and just kind of chilling at 4 centimeters dilated. So they ended up sending me home, and my daughter was not born on my birthday. I spent her entire due date 2 days later walking, squatting, and doing whatever I could to get her out. She wasn't having it. She's very stubborn to this day. I tried to get her to eat broccoli today. You should have seen that. So, to this day, extremely stubborn. The following day after her due date, which was also her dad's 21st birthday, she decided, right before he was going to go out, that it was time to make her appearance. Because that's how she is. She's our princess. So I had told my husband as I was getting ready to go out that it was time, which he was super bummed. You know, you have this big expectations for your 21st birthday, and no, you get to spend in a hospital watching your daughter be born. So, went to the hospital. We had checked in. I was at 5 centimeters dilated, and I sat there for about 2 hours before they tried to send me home because they said no progress was happening. Throughout my entire labor, my contractions never regulated. So typically your contractions regulate like every 3 minutes, and they go down every 2 minutes, and they go down every 1 minute, and then they start lasting longer. They start lasting 30 seconds and 45 seconds and a whole minute. Mine didn't do that with my first child. They would go 5 minutes for 45 seconds, and then 3 minutes for 30 seconds, and then 2 minutes for a full minute, and then back to 1 minute, and then back to 5 minutes. Like, it was just all over the place. So they were trying to send me home because they're like, dude, I don't know what's going on. As I got up to leave and sign the discharge papers, my water broke on the floor. So y'all thought I was going home. No, it was baby time. Which my husband thought, oh, maybe I will get to go out. No, sorry. So I laid my butt back down. The nurse swabbed it, confirmed it was my amniotic fluid and that my water had broke. She checked me again. I was now at 6 centimeters, and I was still feeling pretty good. My contractions, once again, were still really irregular. Hi, kitty cat. So I think I was there for maybe another hour before my doctor got there. And he came in, asked if I wanted my epidural, and I said, yeah, I'll take it, you know, when you get a chance. You know, the least amount I have to feel possible is great. So he leaves again, and I'm waiting for the anesthesiologist, and in that hour I'm waiting for the anesthesiologist, I'm dying at this point. I am leaning over my bed. My mom's massaging my back, and I'm just very firmly asking, where are my drugs? Where's the epidural? Where's the anesthesiologist? I need my drugs. I need my epidural. I need something. This freaking hurts. I ended up having back labor, so all my contractions stretched all the way through to my back and then would shoot up and down my back. Horrible. Still my easiest labor and delivery, but not fun dealing with contractions. Anesthesiologist finally came in and hooked me up with my epidural, which really easy. You lean forward, kind of roll your spine, you do deep breaths, and they put a gigantic needle down your spine. Not to be scary, but it's a lot better than the contractions I was having. Those were terrible. So I got checked again right after my epidural, and I was at 8 centimeters. So if I would have waited any longer for the anesthesiologist, or if they would have checked me before the anesthesiologist came in, I probably wouldn't have gotten my epidural. Typically after 8 centimeters, they don't allow you to get an epidural. So I got very lucky, or I would have felt every single bit of this child. So yeah, I ended up delivering her within the hour after that. My total time that I was at the hospital was like 5.5 hours. From my water breaking to delivering was around 4. Yeah, pretty close to 4 hours. So my labor itself was really, really short, which is unexpected for a first-time mom. I pushed maybe 15 minutes. Like, she was ready and out, and it was just the smoothest labor and delivery ever. Definitely my favorite experience out of the 3 kids. My postpartum after that was fairly easy. I didn't cramp too much. I never took my pain meds that they gave me. I did take the spray. You get sent home with a numbing spray for your vagina. I use that a lot, along with my stool softeners, because no one tells you that the first deuce that you have to drop after giving birth is incredibly painful. Down those stool softeners on schedule like they tell you to. But yeah, so first kid, super easy, probably my favorite experience. My husband at one point almost passed out during my labor and delivery. I think it was during when the anesthesiologist was there. He wasn't handling when she walked in, and he saw the needle, and he didn't handle me actually pushing very well either. He doesn't do things like that. It's just not in his strengths. He ended up having more nurses trying to take care of him and get him to breathe and bring his color back than I had nurses while delivering. Big old baby. He did a lot better with the next kid. So, moving on to the next child. Just a second. So, with our next child, which is my son, that beautiful little man, will be 5 next month. I spent the entire last month of my pregnancy at 4 centimeters dilated with Braxton Hicks all over the place. Once again, never regulated those contractions, so they never said I was in labor. When I hit 38 weeks, I was having contractions constantly. My doctor was like, hey, you've been stuck at 4 for a while, and you've had quite a few Braxton Hicks just at this appointment. Does this happen often? And I'm like, literally all the time. And he was like, okay. He goes, watching baby's heart rate, it's kind of fluctuating a little bit. He goes, baby looks great. Do you want to just induce on Friday? I was like, yeah, sure. Sure, why not? So that day marked my 39 weeks. So I had my son at 39 weeks. I had gone in at like 7 in the morning, I believe. Checked in. Played there for what felt like forever before someone came in and actually hooked me up to anything. I feel like I was just waiting. It was a big waiting game. From the time being hooked up to my Pitocin to actually delivering was just over 8 hours. When they gave me my Pitocin, I had jumped to 6 centimeters fairly quickly. Here, baby. Hang on. So they hooked me up Pitocin after waiting for what felt like forever. And within the first hour, I had jumped to 6 centimeters dilated. I then spent a ridiculously long time still stuck there, and nothing was happening. I literally spent, out of the 8 hours from getting my Pitocin to delivery, I think I spent over 6 just stuck at 6 centimeters. My doctor eventually came in and said, let's pop your water and see what happens. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I had no idea what was going on. At that point, I'm just like, please get this child out. Before he popped my water, they gave me my epidural. Because I told them about how I felt with my last one. I got my epidural. The first time I was scared that once he popped my water, that it'd go too fast. I wouldn't get it. So again, the anesthesiologist came in, gave me my epidural, and then he popped my water. Within, I think it was like an hour and a half of them popping my water, it was time to push. Turns out my son's head, he could feel it when he popped my water. My son's head was so low and so big, it was crammed on my cervix, preventing my water from popping. So he kind of had to push my son's head up and then pop it, and then my son dropped where he should be. Rather than clogging it, he dropped into my cervix and was ready to come out. And I pushed him out the fastest, because by this point, the epidural they had given me didn't work. So, at this point, waiting for the epidural to kick in, I had one leg that went numb, like mid-thigh down, and the entire other side of my body could feel everything, and everything above my thigh could still feel everything. So I got to push my wonderful son out while feeling every contraction and every inch of his extremely large head. And when I say extremely large head, I'm serious. When he was born, they did ultrasounds on his head because they were concerned on how big it was compared to his body. He turned out fine. He's fine. Just a big, big cabeza. So that was fun. I pushed him out in like 3 pushes, maybe. My doctor didn't even make it back. He figured after he popped my water, he had a couple hours. No. So, I told the nurse I needed to push, and she told me to wait. And I was like, I feel everything. I feel him. It hurts. I'm in pain. And I'm like staring her down, trying to light her on fire with my eyes. And while he's coming out, you better catch. And my mom was just like, whoa there. And the nurse goes and checks, and he was crowning, and I was pushing, and she needed to catch, and she did, thank goodness, because 3 big pushes, and he was out. I could feel every little thing, and holy crap, kudos to mom who go through labor and delivery willing. No. I will never willingly do that again. If it happens, it happens, but it is not by my choice. But yeah, so he was my fastest actual delivery, but my longest labor because his big head. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Now for this little bean right here. Were you good? Were you a good labor and delivery? So you know I was a big stinky, huh? So my labor and delivery for this beautiful little monster, I was also induced. I once again was dilated for a month. My body's really good at dilating. And my doctor goes, you want to just do this all over again? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we planned my induction on 39 weeks. Which I'll never recommend doing induction because your body knows when you need to go into labor when it's time. I was just done with all the Braxton Hicks and being so dilated and feeling like she was going to fall out. Plus how fast my other 2 came. I always have this worry that I'm going to give birth in the car or at home, because everything just goes by really fast once my water breaks. So if my water breaks at home, I'm scared I'm not even going to make it to a hospital. So I like the idea of being induction for myself, but I'll never recommend doing it for someone, because I do think that your body knows what to do. So that being said, I did schedule my induction with my youngest. It didn't occur to me till after I agreed to it that it was on Friday the 13th. And my youngest is a Friday the 13th baby. Which explains why she's such a psychopath. Ah! Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, snuggle bug. So, this one I went to go in, and as I was leaving, I got a call saying the hospital was really full. They might have to reschedule me. They'll let me know later in the day. So, originally this was going at 7. I got a call back again at 9 saying, you know, well, we're just going to keep updating you. I finally got called back in at noon, and they're like, okay, we've cleared out some levels. We got some room. Doctor says he wants to get it done now. Because I guess he was going on vacation the following week, and he's like, no, now's good. I was like, okay, cool. So I came in, and from the last experience, I always make fun of my doctor for missing out on my son's birth. I was like, you didn't listen to me, and you left, and you missed it, and the nurse had to deliver him. And so this time he was like, okay, I'm not leaving the hospital. It's like, okay. So they gave me my Pitocin and with my epidural to make sure it worked before anything. They gave me a very heavy epidural to the point where I couldn't even sit up. I kept falling over to one side, and they had to stuff pillows on the sides of me. So yeah, super heavy epidural. I was 4 centimeters once again. I hit 6 fairly quickly. Once again, got stuck at 6. He didn't want to waste a bunch of time this time. He came right in, popped my water, and I had her fairly soon after that. She did take me longer to push out than my other kids. My epidural was just so heavy that I couldn't feel myself pushing. So I just was trying what I thought was my hardest to push, and she did take a little bit longer, but she came out eventually. I think I pushed for like 20-25 minutes with her compared to 15 minutes and then 3 pushes. So I will say an epidural has a huge effect on how long it can take you to push, because being able to feel everything was so much easier and faster to push with than jerk. Oh, then with my super heavy epidural, it was really kind of a pain in the butt. And I know they say postpartum with each kid gets harder and harder. My postpartums are all really easy. I never took pain meds for him. I took my numbing spray and my stool softeners, and that's it. But yeah, my labors and delivery, I've been very lucky to have just very easy, fairly quick labors and deliveries. I'm hoping this one will be as smooth. With COVID going on, I still don't know the plan on how everything is going to work. If I'm offered to be induced again, I would like to, just because we can plan better for the intended parents to come out and make sure they don't miss a single thing. As of right now, I would really like my intended mom and my mom to be there. But with everything going on, I'm still hoping to have my intended mom in there. I think I'll be okay not having my mom in there. I mean, it's going to kind of suck. But I literally think that having baby's mom there is more important than me needing to be babied, if that makes sense. One of the postpartum nurses that is at the hospital is our family friend. It's actually the godparents. She's the godmom of all my kids. So I still have that as a support person. So worst comes to worst, I can have her kind of sneak over and get a little bit of any type of emotional support that I need. So as of right now, I'm really hoping to have the intended mom in there. I don't want her to miss a single thing. Yeah, that would suck, huh? Hopefully COVID will be gone by then, but we're not counting on it. If I go into labor naturally, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how soon my intended parents come out, if they'd fly out that day. That is something I'm going to have to discuss with them. I'm hoping to hold baby in until they get here. Can you stop? But that's something that definitely it's not something I can plan too much right now. I'll say hi. But yeah, so that is my how my births went. I don't know what to say about how I'm hoping this one is going to work, other than I hope the mom can be there, because I feel like it's just a huge thing for moms to have that skin-to-skin contact immediately. So we shall see. I'm hoping to record at least my part of the birth. I obviously am not going to be able to videotape baby, and I'm not going to videotape the intended parents, but I do hope to at least film a little bit of what I'm going through my labor. So how my contractions are doing, how far apart, get things like that. When I get the epidural, how long everything's going to be, how long I push for, and kind of document how that goes. Along with, I really want to document the next 2 days in the hospital postpartum. Are here in California. Typically, we have to stay 48 hours after birth. They make exceptions every once in a while. It's 24 hours, but typically it's 48. So I really want to document how those 48 hours go, just because I'll have no baby. So I'm curious. I think I'm gonna be fine. But everybody says it's different once it happens. Some people say it was really easy because they were so prepared, which is kind of how I feel. And some people said it was harder than they expected. I don't expect it to be that hard, but that's just me. So I do want to be able to document that, and I'll hopefully be able to give you guys somewhat of a birth vlog. But pretty much just winging it. That's pretty much all I have for my birth story. I am going to do a short pregnancy update. I'll probably upload it within 24 hours of uploading this one, just because I haven't updated you guys in so long, and we're only a week away from our 3rd trimester already. So I will upload that ASAP. So be prepared to have 2 videos at once, because I slacked so hard on making this one. But if you have any questions, don't forget you can always comment below or hit me up on my Instagram at SurroMom Journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue to follow my journey and spread my story to hopefully other potential surrogates or people that are looking into having a surrogate. The whole goal is to be able to share this to encourage more women to be surrogates and let women know. Where's your straw? You gonna go get straw? Do you want to drink it like this? Here you go. And let women know that surrogacy is a totally okay option to pick. So yeah, any questions, you guys know you can always ask me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.